day at work. Okay. Hey, can I help you with something? Here. What the hell are you doing over there? Whoa, what the hell? Oh my God. Who the hell was that guy? He just like started running right towards me with scissors. Oh. Okay. I'm safe. I'm in my apartment. Probably some crackhead or something.
Warning, the following movie review is rated R for retarded. In a world full of crime, corruption, and destruction, one man decides to review movies. This is Devil Dog at the Movies.
Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with a movie review. I just got back from seeing the movie Us. Oh, how can I actually explain this in layman's terms? I believe it was Keenan Peele or whatever his name was, his second movie. The first movie that he made was Get Out. And I don't know if he's trying to do an M. Night Shyamalan sort of thing and having these all threaded together. But currently, at least with this movie, Us, I'm not really seeing too much of a tie-in. I'm going to give you a basic synopsis of the story without giving spoilers and then tell you what I personally think of this movie. Basically, the overall plot has to do with the family going on a vacation to a home out near the beach. And when they're there, they meet up with these doppelganger versions of themselves that break into the house and pretty much terrorize and torture them. And one by one, they're able to escape through like fighting them off and stuff like that. And then you realize it's not just them that have these doppelgangers. It's pretty much everybody. And as the story progresses, they're struggling to come to grips with what's going on and progressing through the story. And I will say this right now. The movie starts off rather slow before it actually gets going to establish the characters, which I don't have a problem with. The characters are decently established. Some of the acting's subpar, while others is phenomenal. The kids do a good job. The father seems to be the worst. I hate to say it. He was in Black Panther, but I kind of disliked his character the most. It came off as just not really that heartfelt. But this movie, hands down, is billing itself as like a suspense thriller. And I would say this is more of an art house project. Now, what I mean by that is, if you go into this movie expecting like a typical slasher flick, you're going to be gratefully disappointed. You're not going to understand it. It's not going to make any sense to you. And I think Peele did that on purpose. I think he specifically did this movie almost like taking a Rorschach test, which is what they make you like an ink blot test that everybody sees something differently. I think he specifically made this movie in this vague aspect to where just about anybody can get their own idea of what they think is going on with this movie. You got the aspect, okay, are they evil doppelgangers wanting to take over? Is it more just the psychosis, the psychic? But the fact of the matter is, it's got so much imagery in it, and so much symbolic imagery in it. It really can throw an average person for a loop. So, like I said, a lot of people aren't going to get this movie. They're going to go and they're like, this movie sucks. It's not scary. It's not super violent and gory. People do get killed, but in the end, a lot of people are going to go see this movie and they're going to be gratefully disappointed with it. Sure, for the fact that if you really aren't looking down an artsy sort of way with the symbolism, and all these overlying feelings of it, you're not going to understand the plot. It's not going to make any sense to you other than the fact that these weird sounding, psychopathic red jumpsuit wearing clones of yourself are showing up trying to kill you with scissors, stab you with scissors to talk about cutting and breaking the tether, that they're basically your shadow. But like I said, this movie is designed in a way to be more of an art house film. I'm sorry. The directing is well done, superb. The cinematography, the framing, and everything like that, the way it's edited is very well done. But I can see this movie either being absolutely loved to death by people or hated for the fact that it's so polarizing in the fact you have no idea what the hell's going on. And, here's the thing that I think is, rumor has it that he's planning to make like a trilogy of movies that all kind of fit together in the same universe. Now, if you remember Get Out, it had to do with like doing brain surgery on people. And there's so many aspects in this movie where you go into one area, next thing you know, it's almost like a dreamscape sort of thing. You're in another completely different area with all these bunny rabbits and stuff. And with all the symbolism and all the talking of, actually being oneself and how, they went insane and everything. I personally think that this is pretty much people from Get Out who are going insane from brain surgery. That's what I think, because honestly, there's so many aspects of this movie that makes no sense. First of all, they all have their own doppelganger versions of him. Like the mother, don't get me wrong, hands down best performance of this movie because everyone's playing two roles. She is superb, honestly very disturbing as the quote doppelganger version of herself. But there's so many aspects to it that don't make sense, like the son, for example. He's burned and he's always playing with matches and stuff, but they don't go into detail of why he's like that and he's always fire-based. Other than the one, the kids trying to like do a magic trick with this little spark thing throughout the movie, but, it's not really going to be a cup of tea for a lot of people out there. And if you go into this movie really trying to understand the weird aspects of the symbolism of the tethering of pretty much the doppelganger thing, you're going to be gratefully disappointed. Hands down, this movie to me was rather intriguing, because I kind of like movies like this. This is a kind of movie that will make you think more about what the hell's going on and how, things just happen to be lining up and being perfect in order for stuff to work, like times at 11:11. And honestly, this is really going to be a confusing movie. I really can't recommend it. I really can't, because I personally feel that a lot of people in this day and age, I don't want to say that people aren't smart anymore. I really don't want to say that. But I would say in the way this movie is made, it's done in a way that makes you have to think with all the symbolic stuff that's going on and all what they're talking about. Because, in the end, I can see a lot of people going, this movie sucks. It's too slow and boring before anything happens. When something does happen, it can be really disturbing for 1 second, and in the next something totally stupid, like the guy's going to communicate. And the whole doppelganger thing of how these people are basically from the sewers and all these, underground. And the borderline thing is, to sum it up, it has to do with government mind control. It's about mind controlling and switching you out for another version of yourself. And like I said, there's a lot of people, when you see this movie, you'll probably see something completely different. You may see something from a totally different viewpoint of where he's trying to go and point out this. Because in the end, it's a well-made movie. The acting is really good. And a lot of the action sequences are well done. But the overall arching plot and the characters and how they develop is so much almost like an art school project in terms of how it is. And in the end, I do see that a lot of people won't like this movie. So my final call of Us is unless you're into a really in-depth mind thinker type movie, I would say pass on it. Because if you go to this movie and you see it, more than likely you'll just be confused by it and not understand the whole principle behind what he's trying to tell you with this story. Because, I mean, there's so many things in it that just doesn't make any damn sense until you actually try to look at it from a different viewpoint. And even then, it's still going to make you scratch your head going, this makes no sense. It's not scary. There's parts of it that are disturbing in it, but in the end, to me, it's not really a scary movie. It's suspenseful, but in the end, I can honestly say, other than the bare bones plot that it has and the stuff that tethers throughout the movie, you're going to be left basically scratching your head wondering what the hell you just watched. So, like I said, unless you're into these really like an art school project style mindfuck, basically is what it is, I would have to say pass on this movie. If you do go and see it, I hope you enjoy it. Just keep in mind, the trailers that they show make it out to be a little bit different than what the final product actually is. The final product is a lot more weirder, a lot more surreal, a lot more of psychedelic, pretty much a mind twist, with a little twist ending at the end where you find out that actually that the one lady from the movie the whole time is actually the shadow clone person. And then all the symbolism with cutting the cords with all the scissors. Like I said, a lot of artsy symbolism, and overall not that much of an actual cohesiveness to it, other than stuff that is purposely done to make you actually try to think it through in a different way. I think that's what he was going for here, was to try to make it to where each and every person gets something different out of this film. In the end, though, I would have to say, unless you're really into a movie that's more on the lines of psychological sort of things, I would say pass on it. And, in the end, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it because I kind of like movies like this, but honestly, the way the trailers have it, they kind of make it very misleading. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please leave in the comments below if you plan on seeing Us or if you've seen it already, and what do you think the overall plot is supposed to mean. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out.